Welcome to IdleTalk. Today, I think we got a little shorter episode going on today. I got a couple topics that I want to talk about, but I'm gonna be playing with this entire time for my audio listeners. It's a little project that I'm working on. As you know, that I've been trying to soundproof the room and whatnot, but I have some leftover foam from this carrying case that I bought. I bought it. For the microphones, we would travel. We'll pack up the microphones in the case. That way, they're safe and secure, and they don't move in the case. But this is all the foam that I had to take out of it in order to make the cutouts for the microphones to fit snugly. So that's what I have on me right now. It's just in front of me. I've been working on it. Worked on it yesterday. I actually had a lot of progress done, but I ran out of Gorilla Glue. And Gorilla Glue is dank. Like, I walked into this room after working on it for so long, and I, went to get something to eat, and I went food shopping, and I came back in the room. I was like, damn, wonder what prolonged use in a room like that would do to my health. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of it. It's rough for sure because these are all the cutouts that I chose to take out and mold that case, but it's looking pretty rough, but I'm pretty proud of it. I think I'm going to add on to it, but I'm going to add on to it in different sections. That way, the more layers they are, the more the sound waves beat through and then don't have a chance to bounce back out. So I might put a big F here, and I might hang it up back here, which, I'm constantly changing the background. So I think that's cool and on its own. But yeah, this is a little DIY project I've been working on. I made a light tube, and I'm gonna hang it up there. I already did it. It's already done. Hooked fell down when I put on this other light I had mounted up there. But so I'm gonna leave it chilling there for a while, see what happens. But I had it up there originally, but it wasn't producing that much light, and that was on purpose. I wanted it to be diffused and not look harshly, because whenever you buy, I want to say those lighting strips, it's always it looks ugly. I personally think everyone with lighting strips, that shit looks ugly, because it's just like little beads of light. Like, you see the beads, and it's honestly bad. Like, it just looks terrible. So I bought a tube, and I sandpapered the tube, and it looks better. It looks cleaner. It looks much better, in my opinion. I think that style looks better than the natural just lighting strips being out all the time. Because I feel like if you're sitting in a room with it, it'll catch your eye every single time, and it'll just bead onto your eye. And so I think personally, just diffused is always better when it comes to so many things. This just fell out because I was playing with it. Anyway, so Idle Talk this week. What do we got on the schedule? We've been idly talking for a bit. Catch it up with me and the things that I've been doing. Back to this keyboard again. Pretty good. No complaints. Last week's episode, I finished recording it and I went to sit down because the chair I'm using right now is pretty uncomfortable. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I'm thugging it out. Like how we do. I wake up, I raw dog life. No coffee, no energy drinks. Just wake up, just take life as it is. A lot of people think I'm crazy that way. Like every conversation I've had, or I've always said that sentence. I wake up and I just raw dog life. Like whatever happens. But yeah, I sat in my recliner, and then my laptop died. No, not like the battery was lost. No, this shit died completely. And it said no bootable drive on my main hard drive. I'm like, that's where I have Windows installed. Like, what do you mean no bootable drive? So, I did what all tech enthusiasts gonna make you do. Turn that shit on, turn that shit off again. So I did. I turned it off, turned it back on, turned it off, turned it back on, and then it worked finally. And it asked me, hey, do you want to fix your drive? And I was like, might as well, right? Of course I want you to fix my drive, computer. Like, come on. Obviously. But that was a little heart attack that I had last week. And I was like, oh my God, the video was done. I'm going to have to use the video audio, and that sounds bad. Oh my God, I was panicking. I was like, no way, this just happened. Like right before rent was due, I was struggling. I was like, ain't no way, I got to buy a computer right now. I was really just about to lose my mind. It's like, oh my God. And if I get a computer, I'm going to have to get a PC again. Because, like, I would stream off my laptop sometimes. And it's like, I can't get a Mac, even though I know a Mac's going to work and it's going to last me a long time. But I can't stream off a Mac because Mac fucking sucks in streaming. But then it's going to hinder me from streaming at all. And then I would have to just be like, I'm going to just be going hard on the podcasting stuff. Won't be able to stream. Well, I haven't been streaming, by the way. So I got to get back on there. It's October. It's a perfect month to just buy some spooky games and stream that all October long. But, yeah, I was stressed out of my mind. I was like, no way. Ain't no way this thing just died. Like, no way. I was so stressed. So stressed. I texted everybody I knew. I was like, no way my shit just died right now. I was about to cry. I was about to be mad, sad. But no, we're here. We're live. We're back. Hopefully you don't die. Please. I'm begging you, computer. This is so cool. I'm sorry. But this is so cool. I like it. I'm going to keep working on this and make it, version 1. This little soundproofing panel that I decided to kind of hand make. But, we'll see how that project goes. But I just finished having a conversation about a topic that I think is like super interesting to think about. But it is, how much are you willing to spend on a wedding ring? And after discussion with the boys, obviously, we're out here just having these conversations. But one of them said that somebody said that they wanted at least $10,000 for the ring. And I was like, what? $10K for a ring, for an engagement ring? Like, because you can buy that. You gotta buy an engagement ring, and then you gotta buy the actual wedding ring, right? That's how weddings work. I don't know. I've never been married, but like, I mean, for the engagement ring, it's just clout, right? At that point, it's like, oh, look at my engagement ring, right? And like, some people take like 2 years to get married after they get engaged. So like, in my head, it's like, okay, I can see why they're like, give me $10K for that ring. That way, if you take your sweet ass time getting married, then you got the flashy ass wedding ring. But then I'm like, I feel like if I get engaged, I'm gonna get married like 6 months later, the most. I think whatever the minimum time it takes to plan a wedding, I want that. I'm not trying to take that 2 years. Like, that shit is ridiculous. But yeah, I'm not trying to take 2 to 3 years like to finally get married. I think that's whack. Like, if you get engaged, please get married as soon as possible. Because I feel like, why wait that long? Like, what is the point of waiting that long? Like, I guess COVID gives people an excuse, like, oh, it was just COVID, couldn't get married. But now, like, thinking about it before, like, oh, I've been engaged 4 years. What? 4 years? Why? That's just all that pops in my head is, why are you engaged for that long? But I don't know. So the question that I want to ask you guys is, how much are you willing to spend for an engagement ring? How much are you willing to spend for your wedding day ring? I was going to say if I like the girl, but I feel like if I'm going to marry her, I have to like her, right? I have to like them. So I don't know. I feel like if I'm in the position to go all out, I probably will, as a surprise. Be like, oh, here's $1 million ring. I got it from Mr. Beast in a video or something like that. But, oh, man, that guy that had that jewelry challenge, all he could spend, bruh, I would have got, like, an engagement ring and a wedding ring, just held that shit. I'm like, oh, it's thought of you when I got it. Psych, got it for free. But, yeah, question, how much are you willing to pay? And for my ladies out there, how much should a man be spending on a wedding ring for you? Think about it for yourself, not as a group, but for yourself. How much should they be spending on a wedding ring? And let me know. I'm interested to hear the numerical values that people put on rings. So let me know right here, down there. Comment, YouTube comments or IG comments, or that's it. TikTok comments, my bad. TikTok. Forgot we had a TikTok channel. Okay, we got that. TikTok. Follow us on TikTok, IdleTalk Pod. Follow us on Instagram, IdleTalk Pod. Follow us on YouTube, IdleTalk. Follow us, subscribe, please. Helps. We got 11 subscribers, first of all. One day it was at 6, and the next day it was at 11. So, for the 5 people that just came in and tuned in, thank you. For the 6 people that was out there with me in these streets, thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. Moving on. getting these plugs out the way. I want to talk about Kyrie Irving, NBA vaccination protocols and status, and do elite athletes need to get vaccinated? Let's start with the latter first, because that's what I'm more excited about. Do elite athletes need to be vaccinated? Because I feel like when people are like, I don't know what it's going to do with my health. I don't know what's going to do this. Like, I don't know how my body's going to take it, right? I feel like, personally, if you die, you die, bruh. You're a regular person. Like, you don't got to worry about that. Like, I get it. It's your life. But at the end of the day, what do you do? What do you do that's so important that you're like, I can't get vaxxed. I'm too important. What if I die? What if it makes me sick, you know? But when elite athletes on any sport, right? We're just talking about the NBA in particular with Kyrie Irving and his situation. Their bodies are actually their methods of making money. And so I can see why professional athletes may be hesitant on not taking the vaccine, right? Because we hold them on a pedestal, on a superior standard than us, right? So why can't they like Uno reverse it back? Like they could be like, hey, I'm an athlete. I'm more superior than you because you've put me on this pedestal. Why can I not decline to take the vaccine? Because I literally don't know what it will do to my body, and my body is making me money and off the fact that it's keeping you entertained, right? Because a lot of people are getting mad at Kyrie Irving and other players like Cole Beasley in NFL who didn't want to take a vaccine. He didn't want to take his vaccine. And I feel like everybody just has the right to do whatever they want. Like Kyrie Irving clearly, it said that if he doesn't get his vaccine, he might miss home games because it's the protocol in New York and Brooklyn. That's where they play. He's on the Brooklyn Nets. That their protocols are like that. People need to be vaccinated to attend sporting events, and that might trickle down to the players. You need to be vaccinated to attend and participate in these sporting events. I'm not saying he's wrong, but I'm not saying he's right either. I feel like he's the vice president of the NBAPA, I think, the Players Association. I think he's the vice president of it. And I feel like he is expressing the opinion that maybe a lot of people don't want to express because maybe they're not Kyrie Irving, you know. A lot of people made that comparison in the NFL that, you know, a lot of players not getting paid the millions and millions of dollars don't want to speak up because they can easily be cut or traded, or like they feel replaceable in that manner. But yeah, I mean, I feel like Kyrie Irving hasn't specifically given any reasons why he doesn't want to take his vaccine. But then it just goes to the fact, like, do elite players need to like I'm considering everybody from the worst guy in the NBA to the best guy in the NBA, no matter who you think that is, Kevin Durant, LeBron, or like Giannis. Like, I'm considering the worst guy in the NBA. Always, I consider them elite athletes because clearly they have to be, right? They're in the NBA, they're in the NFL, they're in the Major League Baseball. Like, I consider everybody there elite athletes. Either if you're making $100,000 or hundreds of millions of dollars, you're an elite athlete all the same. We require this vaccination to do a lot of things, to do a lot of jobs, to attend a lot of events, indoor, outdoor, doesn't matter. But maybe I feel like we should have spent another year in the NBA bubble. That's what I'm thinking. Like, fuck the fans. I hate all y'all anyway. Like, y'all pushing to get in sport, to attend in stadium events, and like not thinking about how is that affecting players, that they're gonna have to get peer pressured basically into taking vaccines. Meanwhile, their whole career is taking care of their bodies, and they frankly are too busy doing that, too busy participating in the sport, practicing, doing all that, and now they have to worry about, fuck, I gotta take this vaccine. People are telling me no, people are telling me yes. I'm literally just, the season starts tomorrow. Like, for example, like media day was just the other week, and it's like, okay, media day marks, okay, the season's about to start soon because the media is getting all their questions. Everybody's in their uniform, taking pictures, you know, doing not all that craziness. Like, media day isn't just a half-hour session you get to see on the internet. Media day starts at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and it runs until like 6, 7 p.m. at night, maybe even longer, because media day is crazy. I think we should have spent one more year in the bubble just to be safe. Put them all down in Florida. Let's get another bubble year, because I think we're going to see a lot of things in this upcoming NBA season, this current NFL season. We're going to see a lot of injuries, and we're just going to see, are they COVID related? Is it because you had COVID before? Is it because you took the vaccine? A lot of speculation is going to happen this upcoming seasons, and we're just going to have to wait and see it. We're going to have to wait and keep our eyes focused on that stuff and see where it takes us. But I'm excited. Truly, I'm excited to see what the new protocols and procedures are going to be, because I know that the NBA is an amazing sport to watch. I love watching it. But I'm interested to see how the NFL and the NBA react to these new things, and how they're going to treat players, and how they're going to handle people not getting their shots, because they're already doing fines in the NFL, right? You're going to get fined every week, I think. I forgot what the amount of money was, but I saw this meme on the NFL memes IG page where somebody was like, I'm not getting vaccinated, and then the next week they got fined. And then the day after they got fined, they got their shots. Like, I feel like we shouldn't be doing that to people, right? We shouldn't be fining them for wanting to be cautious about a thing like that. But at the end of the day, sometimes when people ask them, are they vaccinated, and they go off on a tangent or something that makes them look absolutely ridiculous just because it's a vaccine, you often lose those battles. Oftentimes you lose those battles. But it's interesting nonetheless to see where this goes. All right. Last thing that I want to talk about is America is going to run out of money. What does that mean? Frankly, I can't give you the answer to that. I don't know what it means. I've been keeping my eye on that story for like the last month or so, because there's a lot of chit chat on the internet, like, based on how our debt default structure is going to go, blah, 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 big words. But then it came out last week that by October 18th, America's going to run out of money. And it's like, okay, cool. Interesting that we just decide to tell people that, right? And what it's going to lead to, most likely, is going to be a government shutdown again, where a lot of federal workers aren't going to be able to do their jobs. They're not going to be able to get paid, so they're going to give them the time off. The mail is going to run, as always. We figured that out during COVID, that the government doesn't run the mail. The United States Postal Service, apparently, they just bully them in that capability. Remember when everyone was donating to the post office by buying stamp books? They're like, yeah, let's just buy stamp books, give them some money. But the mail will run just fine. A lot of hospitals and stuff are private anyway, so you wouldn't worry about hospitals being shut down, things like that, which is fucked up, right? Hospitals are privatized. That's why ambulance costs are like $15,000, because they fucking hate you. But government shut down. Most likely, employees won't have jobs. They'll have their jobs. They just won't have to go to work, because they're not gonna get paid. So don't go to work. So there's always gonna be like a skeleton crew left behind. I think our regular government, the president and shit like that, I think they'll still be doing things. Clearly, someone has to be in charge for a bit while everybody else doesn't do nothing. So there'll be a skeleton crew, running the country for a bit. I don't know how Congress is gonna handle that shutdown, because they get paid a shit ton of money. Senators too, they get paid a lot of money. So let's see what they do. I'm interested to see how Congress handles the no money situation. But it's said that our markets are gonna crash. It'll be catastrophical. It'll be catastrophe. It'll be catastrophe. Our markets shut down. So if you got money right now, right? I'm not gonna say go panic and go buy shit you don't need, but like if our markets crash and you got extra money, I would say just invest that shit while you have it, right? I think Warren Buffett said, like, buy when people are fearful and sell when people are greedy, or some shit like that. Something along those lines. If I remember to look up the quote, I'll put it right here, the actual quote. But yeah, so that's a good strategy. If our markets go down and you got the money, invest in our markets, invest in some stocks and some other things. Maybe buy some gold, some physical investments, like buy some gold. like jewelry, or you could buy gold bars too, but gold bars are like $7,000. So if you got that, buy an entire gold bar, because it's like you can just store it, keep it in a safe, and it'll gain value every year. It'll lose value every year, however you see, and whenever you need it, just cash in your gold bar. I have a plan to get my phone out. I got a plan how to fix America. I got this, guys. Don't worry. I got us. My plan to restructure America's budget. First, as we've been saying, defund the police. That's easy. Just take away money from them. Like, bam. You don't get money. You don't get money, right? Let's defund all the police. I think we should defund in-person schools and fully move to online class. I think that's the future. I think that people will learn better in that situation. I feel like the only people complaining are the only people that don't know how to fucking use a computer, don't know how to turn on a fucking webcam, like don't know how to fucking use like Microsoft Teams, like Excel. All them people that hate that shit, they're the ones complaining. I think we should move to fully online schools, and here's why, right? Of course, there'll always be a need for in-person things, right? But I think moving everything fully online helps teachers make more money, and here's why. They can sell their skills, because it's always going to be parents who want the best for their children, right? You're not going to meet a parent that doesn't want the best for their kids, like especially if they're willing to put them in a nice school, if they're willing to get them tutors, right? So let's take some of that tutoring money. Teachers can now have miniature classes and get paid for those classes, right? Like imagine you got 5 or 6 kids, and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna be teaching from 2 to 4. I only have 6 slots available. It's gonna be about $300 a kid for a month, or let's say so imagine like what's 3 times 6? 18. That's $1,800 a month, and that's only for one day of the week. And so you imagine you work 3 days out of the week. What's 1,800 times 3? You do the math, because I'm already confusing the fuck out of myself. But I'm sure that's a pretty nice income a month as a teacher, as opposed to what they're making now. So let's take away money from cops. Let's slash our military budget in half, please. I feel like we have the military capability. I'm sorry if I look weird while thinking what I was gonna say. Military capability of like 3 countries. I feel like if we slashed it in half, we'll still be fine, right? We'll still be good. We won't be that vulnerable, I don't think, because we have a shit ton of things already. So let's slash our military budget in half. Let's defund some of the police money. Let's get that out of there. Let's get rid of the in-person classes, right? Let's get rid of that, because now we're paying extra for what? For nothing. Let's do everything online. Instead of getting rid of those buildings that we use for schools, so maybe we should convert them into tutoring centers instead. That way it's shorter. You come in once, twice, 3 times a week, whatever you may want it to be, and you get your money's worth, because you're down to a condensed size. That way teachers can do more things and not absolutely kill themselves every day for like notebooks and shit. So I feel like let's do that. Let's help the teachers in that way. Let's make them privatize their income and how they make income. And I think that's a solid plan. Not for the government that's stressing out of their mind right now. Hey, let's sell some shit. Statue of Liberty, how much? Boom, boom, boom. Auction that off. Do we need to own that? Sorry, France. Do you want to buy it back? We can ship it to you, but you have to cover shipping. It's like eBay, right? What else don't we need? What are some useless landmarks that we don't need? I mean, at this point, the Statue of Liberty, it's not that everybody's seen it. And if you're not born yet and you see this and the Statue of Liberty is no longer here, well, you should just look at it in a book or on YouTube. Someone's out there is bound to have a 4K video of the Statue of Liberty. But what else can we do to free up some government money? Imagine if America just starts a GoFundMe. Hey, we need money, please. Someone said on Twitter, and I wish I would have screenshotted the tweet, but it's like, yo, send them 1,200. Oh, and someone else said they can't just cut out coffee and avocado toast. Twitter got the jokes, I swear to God. Someone also said, oh, They did not. Did they not have 6 months worth of savings ready to go in case something happened like this? So at the end of it, America's going to run out of money. It's supposed to be a bad thing. It's supposed to be catastrophic. I don't know how it's going to go, but I just feel like government's going to shut down. Everything's going to try to stay the same. But a lot of people are going to have a lot of free time, I think, because the government does employ a lot of people. And we'll just have to wait and see. October 18th, mark it on your calendar. Let's see what happens. Hopefully nothing bad happens. Hopefully we're all good and safe and dandy. We're not having another toilet paper incident because of coronavirus. Let's hope we don't do that again. But that was this week's Idle Talk. I'm Fernando, and I'll see you next week. Peace.